Imagination must propel a person to something higher than the murky atmosphere of probability and teach them to hope. It's not difficult to picture legendary Apple visionary Steve Jobs as the source of such stirring words. He was the master at what those around him referred to as reality distortion field. His charismatic belief drew others in, propelling them far beyond the gravitational pull of that murky atmosphere of probability. He didn't simply teach them to hope, but rather to believe the impossible was to be expected. He didn't simply speak of possibility, he lived it. But those words did not come from Jobs. Rather, they originate with Danish theologian and philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, who lived between 1813 and 1855, more than a century BJ, or before Jobs. He wrote of the despair encompassing the human life lacking possibility, emphatically proclaiming the battle of faith battles madly for possibility. Like Jobs, possibility was Kierkegaard's North Star. And yet, he knew it could not, must not, exist in a vacuum. For possibility to bear the desired fruit requires its antithesis, necessity. Possibility left unfettered becomes lost in fantasy, devoid of any meaningful value. To embody true meaning, possibility requires the context of necessity. As of this recording, Apple is the single most valuable company in the world. A world that would look quite different from its current form were it not for the possibility-seeking, reality-distorting Steve Jobs. Well, at least that's the story we like to tell ourselves. But that narrative is missing something. Yes, Kierkegaard was right. Possibility, the act of creation, is central to fully living. Yet it only does so effectively when merged with necessity. And that's where Steve Wozniak comes in. Behind the scenes, Wozniak, or Woz as he was known, encompassed necessity, turning Jobs' possibilities into realities. He built the computers Jobs conceived. He designed and developed machines previously existing only in Jobs' alternatives universe, bringing them into ours. Reality distortion? Woz brought the reality to Jobs' distortion. He was necessity to Jobs' possibility. No Wozniak, no Apple. And yet the reverse is equally true. No Jobs, no Apple. A singular emphasis on necessity, focusing on the finite, the actual, produces a life of triviality, of becoming one more repetition of the perpetual monotony, to quote Kierkegaard again. What is that still, small inner voice telling you as you consider this possibility, necessity, synchronicity in your own life, work, or overall health and well-being journey? Does your personal history point to a gap in need of filling, either through internal realignment or complementary external support? While we don't have the option of choosing between necessity and possibility, both are required, we do have a choice about whether to adapt, which is internal, or adopt, the external. Adaptation occurs when we expand our internal bandwidth. As you look back over your life, you'll likely notice a leaning toward either possibility or necessity. Perhaps this is due to early childhood experiences. For example, a lack of family stability naturally resulted in a need to seek that necessity piece. Or maybe it was peer feedback. Oh, she's the idea person. Or maybe you just naturally glean onto one more than the other one. Increasing bandwidth involves tuning into this personal history and investing time and attention on developing the less developed of these two. The adoption alternative, as we saw occur with Apple's two Steves, is to seek out others who complement our own natural proclivity. To live a full and meaningful life, this principle, fusing together these two paradoxical concepts, may permeate the very fabric of our personal universe. Necessity and possibility, work and play, night and day. One cannot, must not live, at least not if desiring to express the full meaning of live exclusively in one of the two worlds. Instead, we are called to reach for the stars from a firm foundation, love with abandon practically demonstrated. Live life fully, allowing a full life. Seek beyond possible's boundaries, with necessity guiding the way. The magic is in the merging, the power through the pairing, the significance as we synchronize. That is precisely my aim as I sit down to record these mindset episodes. Provide a catalyst for reflection, hope, opportunity, and possibility, tied together with an attitude of and encouragement toward practical action. Yet you'll notice direct answers, this is what you should do, are relatively rare. Those come from within you as you reflect, ponder, and potentially, depending on your worldview, pray. In doing so, we open our dreary eyes from our sleepwalking journey, stepping outside the predetermined path of least resistance we've habitually created over time. Examined under the fresh new light, the impossible, or maybe it's more like simply never considered, bends, shifts, and reforms. The I am is identified as the heart, the very essence of possible, reconfiguring impossible into I am possible, as necessity molds what could be toward the reality of what is. Thank you for joining us for this special mindset episode of the Coaching Lab podcast, your source for engaging evidence-based health, wellness, and performance insights. If you're a coach looking for best-in-class resources to build your toolbox and support your career, you'll find a wide range of options available at catalystcoachinginstitute.com, including a small group Catalyst Connect option and a coach mentoring program. For those looking to pursue certification as a health and wellness coach, we're pleased to announce that Fortune Magazine rated Catalyst Coaching Institute the nation's top program, and our schedule for upcoming cohorts is available on that same site, catalystcoachinginstitute.com. Or, of course, reach out anytime. We're happy to set up some time to talk through your specific questions, concerns, and your specific journey. And now, it's time to be a catalyst. This is Dr. Brad Cooper of Catalyst Coaching. I'll speak with you soon on another episode of the Coaching Lab podcast, or maybe you're up on the YouTube coaching channel.